India Charts publishes Nifty Daily, daily video updates, the weekly Elliott Wave outlook, and the long shot report covering all asset classes.
Let me start out by highlighting what I see in the swing indicator proprietary tool, which anybody can develop. It's just hard work that you have to look at the momentum, whether it's going up or down for all of the FNO stocks. So we plot it as a percentage. So it's reading 32% here, which simply means that 32% of the stocks showing positive or rising momentum and the rest are showing declining momentum. Now what you see here is a divergence that after you hit 15,270 for the first time here, the index has come back to that level or gone above it today, but the swing has been declining. So it shows that a fewer number of stocks in the short term are participating, and these kind of small readings, can sometimes be a warning of a potential correction. So you're seeing some intraday, selling today, which can be a signal that, there's some weakness that can develop in the near term. This is also the month end, in fact, year end, financial year end, and sometimes in the last part of the year, you also get the seasonal, selling at times, especially if the market has been flat to weak since February. So typically, if it peaks out and usually around the budget, then you see that pressure remains till the end of March, and then things pick up into April. That's one of the seasonal cycles, which I also spoke in the podcast. So we are tracking that, and I also track my own technical momentum indicator. So this momentum indicator essentially showing that we had a sell signal here, and it attempted to get back into buy mode, but has crossed over again slightly yesterday, and now today, of course, it will do so further. And the next support I would watch is the 20-day average, which is at 15,022. So if we end up closing below that, with this being in sell, I would think that prices still have some downside in the short term before you really head up again. So are we going to retest the lower band, or are we going to go back to the lower end of this channel? Which means, is it back to 14,750, or is it back to 14,380, or a 61% retracement of this entire rise? That would be pretty steep. So I was not thinking of these levels before, because mostly you were seeing, the dollar bounce is in the last stage. Global markets have picked up. So expecting such a deep cut now looks difficult. But the entire advance that we see, this entire move up here, if I actually look at the hourly chart, then it gives us a very, very corrective sense. I mean, of course, you had the ABC correction on the way down. Okay, and then what you have here, this rise is not very clear impulse. So I could very well mark it now in hindsight as W. And we noted that it was corrective right from the beginning. And so that was not giving me great confidence on the move. And then you have an X wave. You can either put X here or here. And then you have this again series of 3 down, 3 again down. Today's down, of course, breaks this entire low. So this, you cannot mark this rise as impulsive at all. So this entire rise might just be an X wave. So you had an ABC decline here, and then that has been followed by a WXY kind of pullback, which is itself an X wave. So you have W, you have X. Okay, so this bottom could be marked as a larger W. And so that's a complex. Basically, we are saying ABC is W, and then we are saying this WXY is X. And then we are saying another ABC down maybe on the way. So that's what you're trying to weigh, just because you haven't had any impulsive rallies. And now after today's sell off, because you're not even retraced at least 61% of the last rise, I would still think there would be some downside left, even if it's not a lot. Say it doesn't have to fall too much. 61% of this last rise would be at around 14,800 if you have to make some kind of a truncated complex correction. So that's the minimum. And max would be, of course, that if you dip to the lower band or the lower channel line or something like that. So I'll have to redraw this channel, which I've done earlier, and think of it something like this. So this would be the worst case scenario, but this scenario would mean a lot of selling, because coming back to 14,400 or lower is steep. Going back to 14,800 is easier. And so today's fall might just be wave A of a counter trend bounce. You might get wave B, and then you might end up getting wave C, and then that might complete the complex correction. The level of wave C, of course, depends how far B goes, and then we can actually project from there. And that's what we're going to be watching out for. On the good news side, I published this chart of the US 10-year bond. And what you see here is, first you got an extreme oversold reading here where the RSI went to 14. And then you got a lower low with a higher high in the RSI. So you got a positive divergence in the RSI itself at this bottom. Sort of completes a 5-wave decline. So it could be a larger wave 1 of some degree. And you start a wave 2 bounce is what I had been thinking about and I've written about a couple of times. And what coincided with that was this extreme sentiment, which means you have a 9% reading on bulls, which is basically the daily sentiment index, showing that 91% of traders polled, because the daily sentiment index is essentially a poll of traders across regions that is done by Trade Futures, and they come up with this indicator which generally shows you the sentiment. So at 9% it's pretty low. So you have most people who are bearish, very few people who are bullish on bonds, and that's a typical signal that you may be coming close to a meaningful bottom, because the last time you had a reading of 9 to 7% was all the way back in 2018 and 2016, which were also both important bottoms, one for a counter trend bounce and one was the final bottom for that year. Now, of course, it took time. In 2018, it took several months of consolidating near the lower end of the range before the bond rally started. So that's something we don't always know whether it will take time or it will be immediate. But the largest part of the decline in bond prices may be done for the time being. And that takes me finally to the dollar, because in the dollar, what I was anticipating is that this is a 3-3-5 structure where you had to get a 4th wave pullback and a 5th wave up. But last night's market action shows that the dollar index actually has fallen below this high. So this high was 91.40. Here it is 91.37. This is of course the futures. Even in the spot, I've seen the same overlap. So we cannot really mark this as 1, 2, 3 anymore. It has to be ABC. And if this is ABC and this is ABC, then again here you have something which is a complex correction, which is WXY. And the larger decline for the dollar index has probably started into a 3rd wave. So that will be the primary view. The only alternate is if this fall doesn't end up being an impulsive one, does 3 waves down and then bounces back, then you'll have to consider that there's still one last X and Z pending before we can complete wave 2. That's the only variation you can come up with, and but I cannot know that in advance. And if you start making lower lows and lower highs, which is a lower top, lower bottom formation from the high that we've made recently at 92.53 here, then it's a downward trend. I mean, give it a few days and you'll get to know, because the daily momentum indicator would also confirm, and you'd see a lower high, lower low, and you'd probably also get to know whether the RL is a clear impulse or not. If all of that doesn't happen, then we mark it as an X, a bounce, and then a further downward trend. So two of the worry factors, which is bond yields and the dollar, are likely to be going away from financial markets. You've already been reading about that, I think, over the news overnight, which was a driver for a lot of Asia and US markets, which is why our market comes with a surprise. But if you've noted and watched it every day, it's been opening higher and selling off, for most of the last 4-5 days. So it's been showing signs of some internal weakness, which I think may be essentially the seasonal year-end factor is the only thing I can think of. And once that is complete, probably we'll see more strength only into the end of the month or into April, once the financial year-end pressures are done with.